customers are also your friends. So get with other agents in your office or get with some customers to give you feedback on how you make a presentation to them. Get to work an hour before everybody else for the day and spend that hour focusing on how you're going to approach your business for that day. Invite the best agent in the company or in your office to partner with you on a listing. Yeah, you're going to share the commission, but guess what? The value that you will receive from that by watching how they execute will be invaluable long term. I like to say be a sponge. I surround myself with people that I perceive are far better than I am, and I take the cotton out of my ears and I stick it in my mouth and I just listen. And I've done a lot of listening in my lifetime, and I can tell you it has served me well. So there's no denying that the market's been tough, but there's a lot of deals that are being done right here in the greater San Diego and Southern California marketplace. And as I have always lived by, bottom line, the market, no matter how difficult it is, should never dictate your success, ever. I can tell you that in my 80 plus days on the job and 40,000 miles in an airplane, which I have in 80 days, and been all around this country in front of tons of agents and brokers, we have a lot of agents out there making $1 million a year. And the market isn't a whole lot better in other parts of the country than it is right here. So hold yourself to that and know that market conditions should not dictate your success. In fact, every one of you should be striking out in 2010 to have a career best year this year. It's completely achievable. All you have to do is set your mind to it. My recommendation to each of you is to get back to the basics of the business. Back to the fundamental strategies that each one of us, including myself, have built our careers upon. Cold calling, canvassing, network, farming past customers, working your spheres of influence. Get back to research buyers that bought their homes in the early part of the last decade, 2000, 2001, 2002, even 2003. I guarantee they still have significant equity in their homes, and they can leverage that equity to move up in quality. There's still tremendous opportunities out there, and even for sellers who can leverage, everybody's in a different position with the equity in their home. It's not that everybody's in a negative equity situation or a break-even situation. There's lots of people who have paid their homes off, and they may want to move up in quality and leverage that equity. Remind yourselves and your clients that now is one of the smartest times in history to purchase a home. In fact, I would consider today's market to be a generational opportunity to buy a home. You need to make sure that your clients know that. Prices are down, mortgage rates remain at historic lows. And if you leverage these key market differentiators, your success in this business, I guarantee you, is eminent. It's up to you. It's all about making a decision on your own. As each of you know, I'm new in my position as the CEO of this incredible, iconic real estate brand. It really is just unbelievable to think that I'm the CEO of Century 21 Real Estate. I was watching a commercial that played like back in the 70s. I don't know if any of you remember it. I'm probably dating myself, but that's all right. I'll be 50 on Saturday.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know. It's a scary thing. But I was watching this great commercial of an American Indian and his son in their teepee. And the American Indian was saying that we're going to move. And his grandson or his son was saying, "Ah, Father, I've heard that multiple times." No, I'm serious. And he moves back the cloth on the teepee, and there's a Century 21 sign now in front of the teacher. So he knew that he was serious. It's such a classic commercial. In fact, I'll send a copy to David so he can send it around and you can look it up. But it's a lot of fun. Anyway, while all of us are enjoying, the benefits of the goodwill that the Century 21 brand brings to our business, the reality is that's not enough. And if we want to take, and I did use the word take, because we will have to take it, the #1 position in the real estate industry, we're going to have to do far more than leveraging on our brand name. And in fact, it's going to take every single one of us in this room and within the entire company working in concert to change the perception of our brand within the industry and to create a team that is going to win the #1 position. It's going to take each of us holding each other accountable, holding each other to the highest standard in our industry. And if one of us fails, we are all at risk to fail. I want to share something personal with you, and I'm a mountain climber by hobby. And I don't mean a hiker. I mean a mountain climber. And I've climbed Mount Rainier, climbed and summited Mount Rainier, Mount Hood, Mount Adams, El Pico de Orizaba, Ixtaccíhuatl, a lot of mountains. And this happens to be a picture of my rope team as we're approaching the summit of Mount Rainier. And what's interesting is when you climb one of these glaciated peaks, your team is your life. And it truly is, if you fall, as you can see as you're approaching the head, this is called the head wall, it's the most dangerous part of the climb. As you're approaching the head wall, if you notice the last guy in the line off to his left, that's what's called a crevasse, and it's probably about 200 feet deep. So if you slip and fall into the crevasse, chances are you're probably not going to make it out. So what's really important is you approach the head wall. If you fall, your team is literally your life. Everybody goes into what's called a self-arrest mode, and it's the reason that you are tied together on a rope and you are clipped in by one of these, this carabiner that's hooked into your harness. And if you fall, this goes off to each of your team members, as you can see. And if you slip, you're counting on your team to save your life. Here's the thing that's most important, however. As you approach the head wall, the most difficult part of the climb, if one of the team members can't make it, none of the team makes it. Okay? So before you get to the head wall, which is somewhere about 1,000 feet of elevation gain south of this, and this is approaching the head wall on Mount Rainier, about 1,000 feet south of this, you are making a determination as to who is going to be on the team for the summit and who is not. And there's a reason for that, because you're constantly looking at your team members and you're assessing them to really know whether they've got what it takes in order to reach the summit with you. Because it doesn't matter how much I have prepared, it doesn't matter how long I've trained, and I'm actually in training right now because I'm doing 2 mountains back-to-back in July, Mount Shuksan and Mount Baker, in 4 days, raising money for charity. It doesn't matter how much you have prepared for the climb. If your teammate that you have decided will reach the summit with you fails, you also fail. It's pretty incredible to think about it that way. Spend a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort, just like we all do in this organization, to reach the summit of success. However, every one of us has the ability to pull every one of us down from reaching that level of success. And I can tell you that I take it very, very personally when I look at this organization, and I would say to each of you that you represent me. Every time that you hand out a business card to a client, every time that you have an opportunity to connect with someone in a networking opportunity, every time that you're in your community, serving your community, you not only represent each other, you not only represent the 100,000 plus agents around the globe, you represent me. And I take that very strongly. So if we want to reach the pinnacle of success as an organization and clearly take the #1 position in the real estate industry, and I can assure you that that is the goal, we are all going to have to click together. We're all on one rope team, and we have all got to strive to reach the summit together. I want to thank you for having me here today. It's been a pleasure meeting you personally, and let's have an incredible 2010. Thank you.